Hi, today I'd like to talk about the use of experts in personal injury accident cases. First of all, what is an expert? An expert is someone who has specialized knowledge about a subject beyond what is known by the general population. And in personal injury accident cases, there are four main kinds of experts that we use. First, the medical expert, financial expert, toxicologist, and an accident reconstruction expert. The medical expert is usually your treating physician or a physician in the community that has specialized knowledge about your client's injuries. The medical expert would be testifying about the relationship between the accident and the injuries that your client is suffering from, the course of treatment of your client and the cost of that treatment. In addition, the medical expert is going to be able to testify to the likelihood of future treatment and the cost of that treatment. And finally, your medical expert is going to be used to establish the difference between your client's pre-existing conditions, whatever they might be, and conditions that were caused specifically by the accident. A financial expert can be used to establish the full extent of your client's monetary loss in an accident. While anyone may be able to testify that they lost 2 weeks' work as a result of the accident and therefore 2 weeks' pay, a financial expert is necessary in the case of someone that is going to be permanently injured to some degree and suffers a financial loss for 20, 30, or 40 years into the future. You need an expert for someone like that. That's particularly helpful if you have a case of, say, a housewife who's not working at the time of the accident, or someone who was unemployed at the time of the accident. And even in a case where you have, say, someone who is doing physical labor at the time of the accident and their injuries are so bad they can no longer do physical labor, but they go to college and they wind up making more money than they were making before the accident. Those people actually have compensable losses, and those losses can be calculated by the financial expert based on government statistics. In cases involving automobile accidents, it may be necessary to employ a toxicologist to determine whether there was some intoxicating substance in the plaintiff's system at the time of the crash, and whether there was enough of that substance in the plaintiff's system to impair that driver's ability to drive. When we're talking about alcohol, you can have alcohol in your system up to a particular level before it impairs your driving. That's true with most substances. There are sleep-inducing medications and pain medications, which can also remain in your body for a particular amount of time long after their intoxicating effects wear off. In particular, marijuana. With marijuana, that substance will stay in your system for about 35 to 40 days after smoking. However, marijuana only remains in your body as an intoxicant for the first 4 hours. And after that, it's really innocuous. But the byproduct of THC will remain in the system for about 35 to 40 days. So despite the fact that the driver is not impaired, that substance will remain in the blood. And a toxicologist can sort out whether the particular amount of THC in someone's system was or was not affecting their ability to drive. Very frequently in automobile accident cases, it's necessary to employ an accident reconstruction expert. Usually the reason for this is to determine the speed or the relative speed of the two vehicles involved in the crash. Because although one of the drivers may clearly have violated the right-of-way of the other driver may have been speeding, and that may be a defense, or a partial defense anyway, to the claim that the other driver should pay for all the plaintiff's injuries. So the accident reconstruction expert will go to the accident scene or will review police reports and measurements taken at the scene of an accident to determine the point of impact, the point at which the various vehicles involved in the wreck came to rest, the type of vehicles involved and the respective weights of the vehicles to determine the speed of each vehicle at the time of the crash. And with that, it can be determined pretty accurately how fast each vehicle was going. And that can help sort out who is liable and to what extent. Thanks for listening. This is Alan Browning with Browning Law.